Good morning, Gail. Nice to see you again. If you have forgotten, my name is Jemma Tengdahl, and I was the co-account planner for Group 4. When asked the question, what did I learn from advertising campaigns, there are various answers that come to mind. However, the most important lesson I think I learned, and the one which I choose to reflect on today, is the importance of the campaign's consumer insight being derived from the research analysis. As an account planner, it was my job to develop a research proposal and conduct the research in order to assist in the campaign's progression. Following the completion of the research, my role as the account planner required me to analyze the research and examine the findings to discover what the managerial implications were for the campaign. When completing this analysis, I learned so much about our target market, their psychographics, lifestyles, attitudes, beliefs, and their subsequent behaviors on the subject matter my team were investigating. Most importantly, I was able to generate a consumer insight from this exploration process. Thus, my essential point today is how important it is for the campaign's consumer insight to be derived from the research analysis. The reason I state this is because if the consumer insight is generated from the research on your target audience, it will be representative of their intrinsic psychographics, lifestyles, attitudes, beliefs, and perhaps most significantly, it is highly likely this consumer insight will be indicative of their predicted behavior. This notion is further corroborated by the principles of the theory of planned behavior. It states that behavioral intention can be predicted if consumers' attitudes, subjective norms, and perceived behavioral control are known. According to this theory, if our consumer insight reflects consumers' attitudes towards staying at Hotel Gen, the current social norms of staying at Hotel Gen, and their belief they can actually stay at Hotel Gen, and more importantly, create a desire to stay at Hotel Gen, we can accurately predict the consumer's behavior. Thus, I believe that as a result of conducting reliable research and dissecting the findings, a representative consumer insight was developed, which successfully achieved all of the points I just mentioned. Consequently, considering the consumer insight is deemed to be indicative of the target audience's attitudes and predicted behaviors, a campaign will be generated that effectively resonates with them, thereby forming a positive brand relationship which will assist Hotel Gen in achieving their brand objectives. Therefore, to wrap up, I just wanted to reiterate the fundamental lesson I learned in advertising campaigns, that being of the importance of examining the research findings and generating a consumer insight from these findings. In doing so, as the theory of planned behavior has suggested, the consumer insight is proven to be indicative of consumers' psychographics and intended behaviors. As a result, it is presumed the finalized campaign will encourage the target audience to complete the desired action, which will thereby support the brand in achieving their overall goals. I believe this lesson will greatly assist me in the advertising workplace, as I will be able to put this knowledge into practice and hopefully contribute to accomplishing the brand objectives for my employer. Thank you so much for listening, Gail, and thank you so much for an incredible semester.